Hey everybody, Candy here. How are y'all doing? Can y'all hear me now? Oh my gosh, why every time I get on StreamYard lately I'm having problems. Good evening, Jaden sir. How you doing? And welcome, y'all. I dozed off after the show, y'all. I almost didn't wake up for this pre-scheduled live stream. Hold up, y'all. I'm trying to get my little notes up. Wonder why y'all couldn't hear me with the pictures up. Hold on, that's not cool. Okay, let me just make sure we're real quick. Before I get into tonight's review, it's going to be a real quick one, y'all. Because I am tired. Now, okay, turn that off. Hey, Primpin' Ain't Easy TV. Girl, I just woke up on that couch and was like, oh man, it's 9:30. So I think I fell asleep during the last few minutes of the show. I was so comfortable. But why could you all not hear me when I had the pictures up? That's not cool. Can someone tell me if there's an echo? Are y'all getting an echo at all? Hmm. All right, we talking about Queen Sugar tonight. Well, we gonna go real quick. Okay, there is an echo. Oh my gosh, why is it doing that to me? I hear the echo. I don't know what's going on, y'all. But anyway, welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. Thank y'all so much for popping on. I am Pandy of Pandy's Hair Candy and More. Tonight was season 5, episode 3 of Queen Sugar. You all know the season just started back up, And so I've been trying to follow along closely and give you all my honest reaction and review and recap of the show. So tonight's title was Late April. Now, we know from the previous episodes that when they started filming this season of Queen Sugar, of course, the pandemic occurred, so they had no choice but to write the Rona into the episodes, right? So I'm not going to recap last week's episode. I do have a review here, so y'all can definitely check there. Tonight was kind of like a recap from the first two episodes. So basically, we saw at the beginning that everyone is kind of now, it's kind of starting to settle in. I think episode one was late February. Episode two was titled Mid March. And tonight's episode is now titled Late April. So we see everybody starting to hunker down and take the virus a bit more seriously now. And Charley, of course, because she's on the city council, she has warned Vi that Vi's Pies, the cafe, is going to have to definitely shut down for the quarantine. They need to stay quarantined. Now, keep in mind, initially they thought it was going to be a 14-day quarantine. We done went all the way from February to now April. We also seen that Ralph Angel has had to call several of his workers and lay some of them off. And one of them, he even got on the phone who had actually tested positive. So it's really starting to hit home. Okay. Now, meanwhile, they show Nova and her boo thing. They're pretty much taking advantage of the quarantine and the fact that they're stuck in the house together. They're, getting pretty hot and heavy over at their place. They're doing it big, if you want to read between the lines. Now, we also seen Hollywood and Vi back at Vi's Pies, pretty much having to pack up all the food that Vi had in the freezers. And Vi, she's a giving spirit. So what she was doing was she made care packages for the community. I mean, they were complete with groceries, hand sanitizers, masks, just all the essential items because everybody in town is stuck homebound. Nobody can get out and do what they need to do. So rather than the food go to waste, since she's unable to open up the cafe, this is her way of, as usual, giving back. So I thought that was nice. Next, we seen Charley and the city council trying to plan for future hits to St. Joe. They're pretty much having to adjust to the whole virtual Zoom meeting. They're pretty much planning for the city's upcoming essential services that'll be needed, and trying to determine what kind of hits they're going to have to take. Now, they're used to coming together and having these meetings in person, but like I said, they're having to do them virtually. Okay. Yeah, I'm looking at my notes, y'all. They're basically trying to see who needs to close, how much longer they should stay closed, whether or not it's safe to open, that type of thing. Next, we see Nova meeting up with her true paper crew. They're pretty much going around door to door in the community, and they are handing out the care packages that Vi and Hollywood have prepared. And I thought it was so beautifully done, you all. Everything was contactless. They were literally going and ringing people's doorbells, knocking on the doors, and leaving the care packages and going away. And they had like several hundred. So it was like a full community service type of thing, because again, no one can go out. Most of the store shelves and things are empty. You all know what we went through last March. It was nuts. Last February, last April, it was nuts. So it's really nice to see the way the show is kind of paralleling the all the things that we went through with the real pandemic. They really did a nice job at writing everything in. Oh, that is so weird. Definitely keeping the storyline currently with what's going on. Yes. I wonder why I can't see your comments until so late. As long as they don't kick me out again. Now, again, this is not much of a long review tonight, guys, because I feel like they spent a lot of time going around to all the different key players, just kind of letting us see how they were handling the situation, much like we all had to do last year this time. Now, they showed Darla and Ralph Angel at the house, and Darla's coming in. She's pretty much stressed as a woman because, she's pretty much had to fight for pretty much the last items on the shelves and the long lines, the empty shelves at the grocery store. We also see their son Blue is now having to adjust to homeschooling and the whole virtual school process. Basically, things that children are still dealing with to this day. Um, Ralph Angel is actually, I think he's having like a delayed response to the shock of it all. He's feeling some type of way because he's had to, of course, make those phone calls and let a few people go. But his overall outlook is very positive, it's very calm. He feels like the crop and the land, it'll work itself out. He's not concerned that they're gonna like suffer a major hit. He's more so concerned about the people that he's had to let go and how they're going to pan out during this whole unsure time, because no one's ever had to deal with this. We don't know how long this thing is really going to last. They told us 14 days and we've been several months now. And we know because we're actually living through the situation, it's a whole year later and things are still not quite back to normal yet. So they did a really good job showing the mental toll that dealing with this whole situation can take on you with regard to Ralph Angel's character. Now, they also showed that in the conversation between him and Darla, it was very clearly visible that Darla was not comfortable at all with Ralph Angel's response. She was like, "You need to be hitting Charley up. Are you going to get a loan from Charley?" And he was like, "No, why would I be getting a loan from Charley? We going to be all right. And she's like, "Well, I just started my job, but they're not letting us work right now." So she's uncomfortable for what the future holds. And we as women, we tend to be that way. Whereas he's very much calm about the situation. He's very much laid back, like we'll make do with what we have. So I think it's interesting to point out because we have to take into consideration that Darla is a recovering addict. So something as simple as that can trigger someone with addictive personality. You know what I'm saying? Or someone who has had issues with an addiction, I think. And I think it's notable to recollect on that scene because they're showing us that for a reason. I think it's going to play out and turn into something later. Um Next, we see Charley going to go have a meeting with Auntie Vi at the cafe because during Charley's virtual council meeting, that guy that's always nitpicking with her, I believe his name is Jackson. He was saying, it seems like Auntie Vi is not shut down. I was driving past there the other day and I noticed a lot of activity. And she's like, she is definitely closed down. What she's in there doing is clearing out, all the overstock of food and things that are in there and giving them out to the community. So as a result of that conversation taking place during the virtual council meeting, she went to go meet up with Auntie Vi and basically reiterate to her that, look, don't be trying to call yourself being slick and be over here open on the DL, because you will get fined and you will get shut down. And Auntie Vi's like, okay, Councilwoman Bordelon. And she's like, Auntie Vi, it's not me. It is the city of Louisiana that has mandated that you be under mandatory quarantine. And Vi's like, oh, the same city of Louisiana or state of Louisiana that has cut off the small business funding so that we can keep our heads above water. So again, very real situation. One of the main reasons I love this show is like so on point, so easy to identify, because again, these are things that are going on right now. Now, next we see Mr. Prosper. He's sitting at home. He's sitting in his old rocker. Mr. Prosper is looking very much stressed. He is listening to the news and they're talking about the virus, and how things are. Now it's no longer a rumor, it's becoming a reality. It's been several months that everybody's been quarantined. And Mr. Prosper is an older man, but he's used to getting up and going out and working in the field every day, being around Ralph Angel and the rest of the crew, going and, just living his life. So for someone like him, he's taking it very hard. And the fact that initially, when this thing came on the scene, they were constantly warning that elderly people were the greatest risk. So I think he's starting to internalize, okay, this is a very real thing, and, should I be worried? So we see that happen. He's pretty much concerned. Nova then shows up. He's her last stop with his care package. And he's very snappy with her. Like, he's trying to rush her out, and she kind of senses something is not right with him. And she's like, Mr. Prosper, is everything okay? Is there something else that I can do for you? Do you need something? And he's like, no, just leave the packages on the table and go. And she kind of stops and gazes at him, but she goes. But she, knows something is not right, because Mr. Prosper is usually very warm, very friendly. And it was just kind of odd and unusual for him. Next, we see Hollywood. Hollywood is so loving and so romantic. I just love the way he loves Auntie Vi. He is at home in the kitchen with his phone propped up on the counter. He's got all his ingredients spread out, and he got his mama, Miss Willa Mae, on Zoom or Skype, whatever the situation. She's on the phone, guiding him and instructing him, giving him the directions to prepare this romantic meal for Vi. Because Vi is always so busy catering to the needs of everyone else, he's planning a surprise romantic dinner for her to cater to her. And of course, being the mama's boy that he is, he got mama on the line, letting him know how much bourbon needs to go in the chicken. And she's like, boy, Hollywood, you trying to get everybody drunk? Willie Mae, yes, primping. I said it the way they said it too. She's like, you can't get everybody drunk, boy. You don't pour the bourbon on the chicken, it goes in the sauce. So it was so cute. And just as they're talking, she's a gray-haired woman. She's an older woman. She kind of starts to cough uncontrollably while they're on. And Hollywood kind of pauses and takes notice and was like, what's that all about? And she kind of downplays it and was like, ain't nothing. I ain't got the Rona. Everybody coughing, ain't got the Rona. And, she downplays it, but she looks weak and she's coughing. And baby, let me add my bias disclaimer. I'm going to be heartbroken. I'm going to be heartbroken, y'all, if something happens to Miss Willa Mae. I just have a feeling she's going to get sick. or something. She's going to be affected in some type of way. And I also strongly feel like that's going to happen with Mr. Prosper as well, but more so with Miss Willa Mae, just because they are the elders. Um, but Ava DuVernay, y'all, please don't take them out. Please don't. I will be devastated. But I get it because again, this show is definitely giving us real life situations. And they have to keep it real. They have to go with the narrative for what's really going on with the way that the virus is moving. So I take notes as I'm watching, and I noticed that, and I immediately got, yeah, she was coughing uncontrollably. While she was joking and clowning with her son and giving him this recipe on how to cook this. It was some type of bourbon stuffed chicken or something he was doing, but he wanted to just give his woman a day to kick her feet up because she's always pampering for everyone else. She's always catering to everybody else's needs. And when I tell you Hollywood loves Vi to death and back, and it caught his attention. It caught my attention too. And I'm like, no, not Miss Willa Mae. Next, after that, y'all, we seen Micah come home. And of course, remember, he joined that frat that Charley was not too impressed with. And when she comes home from wherever she was, she didn't even realize he was there. He was sitting there all spread out on her couch. He's got all his junk food all over the coffee table. He's on his AirPods, I guess, talking to his boys. I mean, he had her living room basically looking like a dorm room. And so she was just standing there like, what the? What the? But she didn't say anything. She didn't snap off on him. She kind of tried to, overlook it and welcome him and let him know that, she realizes he's an adult and she's happy to see him home. Now, that was pretty much tonight's episode. Like I said, they were going around just kind of showing how everyone has progressed. Again, this is only episode 3. This is season 5. This is the newest season. And I have to be honest with y'all, Pandy be working so dang much that all it takes is for me to sit down and get comfortable and I'll be dozing off. So I was dozing in and out after that. And like I said, I dozed back in right at 9:30, which is the time that I had set to come on in here and turn this good old live button on. But that was it in a nutshell, guys. I'm about to go in there and play it back on the on demand to make sure I didn't miss anything, because I'm telling you, I'm gonna be crying if something happened to Miss Willa Mae. But that's pretty much what I saw, guys. I don't know if there's anyone else who may have caught tonight's episode that wants to chime in and let me know if I am leaving anything out. At least you're not dozing off while you're on the phone. Girl, prepping, it don't take much. And my husband will let me just sleep, girl. He will let me sleep because in his mind, I don't sleep. And so whenever I fall asleep, he feels like I need to sleep. So he'll just leave me there to sleep. And that's a good thing, but it's not a good thing because I had a live stream planned. And what if I would have slept through? I would have been so freaking horrified. But I digress, y'all. That was pretty much it. I want to thank you all so much for continuing to rock with me and come through to catch up with me on these recaps. I am going to I don't know when, maybe this weekend. I keep saying I'm going to go through and watch some of the old episodes, just binge watch and come give like a general summary. But I have not done that yet. Again, this is just episode 3. So we're not too far in. I don't think much happened after that. They just kind of kept fanning back and forth between everyone, showing, how everyone was doing with the current situation. Now that this is a very real thing, it's no longer just something that you're hearing about on the radio or seeing little clips. It is now something that, the city council is having meetings about. They are strongly recommending that continue to stay quarantined, continue to social distance, everyone's wearing masks. So it's very much like what we're doing right now in our day-to-day walk, you know, which makes the show that much more entertaining, in my opinion. That was it for tonight's episode, y'all. Thank you guys so much for being here. It is March, y'all. It is National Women's History Month. So I'm excited about that. I'm going to be trying to put out some little short videos just highlighting and celebrating and acknowledging the many accomplishments that women have made to history, culture, and overall society. Today I was in I Am Contents Live. I was kind of listening in my earpods while I was at work, and I think really TT kept asking, what's everybody doing for International Women's Day, which is celebrated and acknowledged on March 8th. And no one really had any plans, and y'all, just as organically and as beautifully as possible, a conversation popped off, and the next thing you know, y'all, they was talking about a planned celebration. So there is now a challenge that really TT has put out for all women. I believe everyone's pretty much going to create a special video, and we are all going to simultaneously be posting and kind of doing like we did with the virtual conference, and just kind of doing a tag, or I believe they called it a round robin, where everybody's gonna, okay, let's say I Am Content goes at 9, at 9:15, somebody else will go, at 9:30, somebody else will go, and I think it's gonna be so dope because so many people were on board. I can't wait. I was so excited. Even though I couldn't really get in the chat because I was at work. I'm literally at my desk working, but I was there taking notes and listening. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited. And guess what, y'all? I am sitting here with my afro still from Sunday. Yes, I have not shampooed my hair yet. So I'm literally about to do that right now. I literally took these braids out for real tonight while I was watching the show before I dozed off. So I'm getting ready to go shampoo my hair for real while it's still semi early. Thank you guys again so much for being here. If you have not already done so, please don't forget to blow dry on the like button on your way out. And if you have any comments or feedback or anything at all that you'd like to share, please drop down in the comments underneath the video to let me know what's on your mind. I would greatly appreciate it. Now, without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and bring it to a close, y'all. Y'all be blessed. Have a good. Thank you all so much for coming through and kicking it with your girl. I hope that you guys enjoyed yourself. And if you have not already, don't forget to blow dry on my like button. And if you have not subscribed to the channel, what are you waiting for? It is free 99 after all. Make sure you double tap on that notification bell so that you are notified each and every time I go live over here and when new content is added to the channel. Until next time, stay safe, everybody, stay encouraged, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.